Good morning, guys. Let's do the end of April garden tour. We're gonna go down and get a closer look and explain why I have bugs on my plants. The garden is still got a little bit of work to do. Well, it's got lots of work to do, but I'm so pleased at where it's at so far. So let's go downstairs and get a closer look. So we are downstairs now, and we're gonna start with this side, go around it and come back up. So let's start with what we have in here. So this is some filderkraut and this is some greyhound cabbage that I've planted them in here after taking them out of the bottles that I winter sowed them in. Unfortunately, slugs got into the bottle. I give up with these slugs. I'm trying to get nematodes, but they're not available anywhere. I think it's not the season for them because it was too cold. So as soon as I get some nematodes, I will treat everything again, and that should do for the year, and try not to recontaminate the containers. But yeah, slugs crawled into the bottles, and I've been using these blue things, but they don't really work, but it's all I have right now. So yeah, the figs are doing great. This one is the one I had last year. It's growing figs, but the tip isn't growing, which is, I'm not quite sure. The rest of it's fine, but this tip here isn't growing. These are figs. These two are ones that I stuck in this year, so I'm not quite sure if they've gotten roots yet. It would be great if they do. And the other figs obviously are the same from last year that I got with this one. This plant here is the reason I covered the others. So these are blossoming. This is some spring greens I got from the supermarket, and I saved the heart and planted them, and they eventually, this is from last year I think, and I'm happy that they're going to seeds. I hope they're not hybrids because they tasted pretty good, and they're the reason I've covered the other Portuguese kale with bags to encourage the bees to use to pollinate these and not having a cross pollination. So I've had enough of these. That's fine. I don't want them cross pollinated, and I wanted them to pollinate this other one. And to be fair, I was in the garden last night and a bee chased me out and pollinated all the flowers. Did it so quickly as well, thinking, wow, bees is working hard, doing Lord's work. Anyway, next up we have our alpine strawberries, which I did fertilize, and there's a flower in here, but the birds came in one day and I saw that they were picking up the flowers. I don't know, these birds are something else. Anyway, going back to this, these are Portuguese kale. I brought out the things to harden off and lift these out. They'll be fine. And this is the plum opal. Now I'm still kind of wondering why it didn't flower. The other plum flowered, but I noticed that my neighbor has a very big, a massive plum tree, and they don't have flowers either. But they did bring new shoots this year, lots of new shoots. So I'll just leave it and see. Lots of new shoots this year. So I'll just leave it and see what happens. And it did have aphids, but the green ones. So I sprayed them with soapy water. Yeah, I just sprayed them with soapy water. So it's looking good. Lots of new shoots. So we'll see what happens. This is my grape, which is coming back rather quickly. This is a Romeo red grape that I got from Asda. And this also had some green aphids. I used the soap to spray, but it's covered with fruit. Look at that. Absolutely everything covered with fruit. Obviously I couldn't use any every limb's covered with fruit. I couldn't use any pesticides on it. So yeah, I had to leave it just plain soapy water. I'm trying to use less pesticides because I don't want to eat directly from my garden. So yeah, all these leaves were covered with green aphids, but I sprayed them and scooped them out. So hopefully they're all gone. They won't come back. Walking over to now my strawberries are. This was the first strawberry. No, I had 5 in here that I got from the old allotment because it was from the neighboring allotment and it ran over to mine. I had 5 and then one died, and well, 5, they all died except this one. This sent out runners last year, and this is how I got the other 3, and they're all doing really well. They're all doing really well. Look at that. They're coming out with flowers. I'm hoping for more runners as well. And I'm surprised because they say after here, this is still very productive, because this is, when you consider I moved in 2022 and this moved with me. Last year was the first year it flowered because I weren't in any and look, it's still very productive. I'm quite surprised. And these are coming out as well. Look at that. Look at there. Look at that. Wow, I can't wait for them to produce runners. The pansies are back. I thought it was only yellow ones, but pansies are back, and we have another color because I did plant some mixed pansies in here, but and only the yellow ones seem to hang on. So happy to see a different color popping up and some more pansies in there. And now over to our wonderful garlic. These are looking so good, but they're turning a bit yellow, so I did put a lot of bone meal on them. So, and surprise, surprise, the slugs are trying to eat the leaves. Look at here. Slugs are trying to eat the, look at that slug damage there. Unbelievable. But yeah, they're looking bigger this year. I don't see any scales, so they're looking a bit yellow. I think I'll need to put a little bit of fish blood and bone instead of just bone meal. One surprise is that these were bulbils last year. These are walking onions. They were bulbils last year, and now they're producing bulbils this year. I thought they would wait until next year, but no. They're producing bulbils. Look. Yes, and this is a kale, garlic kale or Ethiopian kale. But yeah, they're producing bulbils this year. I thought it took 2 years for them to produce bulbils. Yeah, so all the walking onions are producing bulbils. Amazing. This is from the neighbor. I don't know what plant it is, but I'm gonna let it stay. I'm gonna get rid of these growing. This is the other gooseberry, which is also loaded with fruit. It's covered with fruit. And a dandelion, which I don't want you in here. Seeds everywhere. I don't know if that's gonna help. But yeah, and I don't know what those are that's growing, but anyway, it's covered with fruit. The plum has one flower left. I don't know what happened to the other. Oh yeah, we've got some blossom, so I've got to be careful. Let me come on here. This tree had signs of aphids. I don't see too many fruit forming. I see more buds coming out. Look there. See more buds. That's a sunburst. I'll give you a funny. That's a sunburst cherry. So I was at Lidl the other day, and a couple were there, and they were saying, the lady was saying, hey, we should get some fruit. And the guy was like, the birds. And I'm like, sir, Well, I didn't say it, I just chuckled to myself, but it's like you let some birds punk you out of growing some patio fruit. You can cover them up. And this is a Hildefinger. Which this surprises me as well, because this needs something to cross-pollinate it with. And I think what I did worked by bringing the other cherry blossoms to dust it with, because it's covered. It's covered. It is covered. It's covered. I'm really surprised. Really surprised. That's a Hildefinger. If I'm saying it wrong. Hedelfinger, if I'm saying it wrong. So yeah, so the fruits are fruiting. Most of them, that is, doing well. And I cleared out the bits of carrot that were in here. I made a mistake. I should have left the carrot to go to seed. I took it out and then forgot to take it in and use it, and I was like, oh. So I've planted in here, sorry, I shook the thing. I planted in here some rapinis. I can see the seeds. Didn't do a good job of covering them up. And this is some Ishikura onions, which I wish would go to seed or do something. So I've covered them up because the birds have a habit of just coming and scratching everything over. This is some Stara chives, which I've harvested the tops of. I didn't want too many seeds, but they're producing more seeds. As you can see, more blossoms down the bottom. Can't stop it. This is some garlic chives, or Chinese chives, that I've harvested twice. This is the Cara potatoes I planted on the 20th. So that's Cara potatoes, Cara potatoes. This is the Swift that I planted in February, and that is the Kestrel that I planted in March. So we have February, March, April. Staggering my potatoes. This is my blueberry, which is coming back to life. I'm so pleased because you see how big the trees were. I'm so happy to see it back. This is the cherry that I lost, and I sprayed it. Yes, I did. It was covered in, every year it's the same thing. It's covered in aphids. I'm gonna get some boric acid and mix it with honey and use that method to see if it gets rid of them completely. I'm waiting for these to go to seed. This is Scorzonera, and I thought Scorzonera and black salsify were the same thing, but apparently they're not. So I'm hoping this is Scorzonera, and I'm gonna buy some more seeds. Now, this is another garden surprise. This was a tip of the gooseberry that broke off, and I literally just stuck it in here, not expecting anything. And look, I have a third gooseberry plant. That is so good. I can't believe it. I literally just stuck it in here last year and didn't expect anything, and it just decided that it was going to survive and grow. So that's a third gooseberry plant. So if you're ever thinking of propagating gooseberries, you can just stick them in the soil. They'll be all right, just like the figs. The raspberry, which I took from the old allotment, starting to flower, and I will have to tie this up. These trays I'm going to reuse and plant the onions in, because I can't do it until I don't want to plant the onions straight in the ground until I get the nematodes. These are the beetroot that I've planted, and I've done some more cabbages, filderkraut, and golden acre. I think have to put these on it because the birds will they'll just go right ahead and scratch it out. That's the carrot, which I need to harvest some of it, I think. We have some more walking onions. Walking away. Walking away. I did harvest some of these as well, but everything is just coming up. It's great. I have some calendula in here. I've just left them, I just left them. That's why I left that as calendula. So Coming on here, this is where I put my root crops. The moly is coming up. The radishes, the other radishes are there. The leeks had come up. I think, what's this? Beetroot. I think some beetroots are popping up now. I'll leave that. This is the beetroot that I want to go to seed. This onion is going to seed. These other onions are fine. I don't see anything else coming in here. The carrots were here before, and the other, the other leek. This is a little blue, and the other leek is the mussel burr. Let's get the grass out. You're not a leek. Get out. I don't mind the poppies growing in here, but I don't want the grasses growing in here. But anyway, so that's what's going on. I expect more seeds to pop up because this week is gonna be in the 20s, so that's gonna be great. And this, I'm gonna start getting it ready, add some soil in it, and start getting ready for the summer squashes. So the patty pan, the crookneck, the round summer squashes, and get them planted up, get it ready. So these are what I used for the cross-pollinate the and they are cherries, it looks like. Yeah, I didn't see any roots at the bottom, so I just dumped them in here. All right, so let's go around. So these are the onions. I'm gonna plant them, especially since there are not so many. I'm gonna plant them in the trays. These were being eaten by slugs. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these slugs. This is the peach that I grew from Pip. This is supposed to be parsley, but I'm gonna have to redo that. This is the poppies, because I didn't see any poppies coming up, and I thought they weren't gonna come this year, and there are literally poppies everywhere. This is the other. This is a Patriot blueberry, and it has a blueberry. Everybody says I'm producing this year, so yeah. And that's another giant parsley. Under here we have a bluebell. I'm gonna have to move this over to the front of the yard, which I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but we have a bluebell. Now this is got a mixture of everything. The chard I leave because the birds are eating it. This is perpetual spinach, and the birds are coming in and nipping at them. Let me hold this properly. Lots of kale. This is the kohlrabi that I planted, and yeah, it's just full of kale or whatever, chard, whatever, a mixture of everything. The peppers and aubergines are gonna go in here, so because this is where the sun comes first. So I'm gonna put callaloo, perpetual spinach. Oh, the other thing, this is what happens when you plant something in your when you plant up your garden and just leave it. So this looks like it's Chinese cabbage. I'll let it stay in here and go to seed. You'll have seeds forever. And that looks like a pak choi. You will have seeds for half of these things coming up. I didn't even plant them, but this is what happens. Once you plant something once and it's in the soil, it's going to keep coming back. These are the other kestrels that I planted. This is what I mean. This is Ethiopian kale or garlic kale. It stays growing wherever it wants. And these are some more elephant garlic. Now I don't know how they're gonna be, but I did put some sorghum in here. These are the ones that were winter sown, so I put them in here. And these are the summer squashes. I'm gonna move them when the sun comes to put them in the sun, but I have summer squashes covered up, and I have so it's summer squashes, and it is the asparagus, because I planted a lot yesterday. I planted at 10 o'clock last night. I forgot that I didn't plant a tomato. It was a piccolo tomato, so I planted that. And yesterday I did winter squash, summer squash. I did the white sage again, the lady's mantle again, and what else did I do? Callaloo. So that's what I planted yesterday, and these were gonna be winter sown. So as soon as the sun comes out, I'll move it to that. These are the buckets that I need to fill up for the tomatoes that I've gonna put out. I've started to harden off the tomatoes. So these are lemon balm. It was growing in the yard. I moved it here. This is the nettle that I saw growing here. Nettle is actually edible, but you've got to be careful. Unfortunately, the blossom time that I bought wasn't alive, and it doesn't look like the tuberose I bought was alive either. So that is very disappointing. Okay, so we're gonna have to buy new ones because we need to add some color to the garden. Really do need to do that. So, and over here we have our 9-star, which we harvested, but we're gonna have to harvest it again. It's getting bigger and I don't want it to go to seed. So it's perennial, so I'm not quite sure after you harvest what happens. But yeah, I'm not gonna wait for it to start to flower. Well, it's obviously a flower, but you know, and I obviously need to weed here, but I'm leaving these. I harvested from these the other day and used it. Harvested all the chard in the yard and used them. So here we have our planter filled with greens, and it looks like we've had some. This is some perpetual spinach. Looks like we got some cross pollination. So this looks like a Siberian kale, but it's got purple on it. So it looks like the Siberian crossed with the Russian kale. I've put the cabbages in here. Some are Filderkraut and some are Greyhound, and I put the lettuce in here. But I really need to treat. If you look at here, I really need to treat the thing with slugs because they'll just get eaten. I've got peas that I've planted in here as well. I need to harvest. I've been harvesting a lot. I harvested the front. I've harvested spinach twice. I've harvested the chards. I did the beets, and I've done this 9-star. I've done some harvest. The only thing I have left is the beets because I've put the beets in the freezer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna harvest this, and I'm not putting it in the freezer. I'm just gonna harvest it so that it can, the light can penetrate the cabbage at the back, and just use these in a stir fry or whatever. But I'm gonna leave some of these Siberian ones for seed because I need some Siberian seeds. I've got enough Red Russian. But yeah, but I like Red Russian because it tastes good even in winter, so even in summer. Right, here's another surprise. I did not expect this. I think it's Blue Jay that I got from Lidl. Didn't expect it to flower this year. If I'd known, I'd have bought two. Of course, this is my color molding. It's looking a bit yellow, but I'll add some fish blood and bone to that. We're gonna, these are herbs that we need to sort out. More lemon balm, rosemary, thyme. Thyme doesn't look good, so I may have to plant some more, sow some more thyme seeds, parsley, mint, more lemon balm. And I don't know what's gonna happen with these bays, so I need to tidy up the herbs. The ones around the front, the rosemary around the front looks really good, but I don't know what's happening with this one. I will have to tidy up the herbs. And this is some lettuce that I winter sow. It again, it doesn't look very healthy. The winter sown stuff don't look very healthy. Maybe I left them in there too long. Maybe it's better to direct sow them into where I want them, and then trying to protect them from slugs, because I didn't realize the slugs were getting in the bottle. Anyway guys, I'm going to go around the front and show you what's happening there. So let me just add this in. So I've put these tomatoes, peppers and aubergines out to harden them off. They're looking very good. I have lots more upstairs to come down, but I'll start with these because these are the bigger plants. The other ones I've left them under grow lights 24 hours a day inside. So it's gonna be really warm this week. We're gonna get up to the 20s. Next week it's gonna be a lot cooler. I've made the mistake in the past where I've put them out too soon, and then it gets cooler and then they get stunted. So these will be put in, well, these will be hardened off for about 2 weeks. So I won't be putting them out next week. I certainly won't be putting them out until I have polytunnel, so I get a polytunnel sorted. So that is it guys. Hardening off stuff. I'm really pleased. Most things are looking good, but the corn doesn't look good, so we may have to replant some corn. But that is it guys. So we have the peas popping up on the front, the cauliflower, more kale, some mixed mustards that oh, this is very interesting. I need to go back and see if Nikki's Nurseries has these seeds back in stock, because it's a mix and I can't remember what this was called. I think it's Huntansai. Anyway, this is the red frills. The peas are popping up. They're doing really great. And yeah, harvested from these recently. Shot back up. These are cauliflowers. I've started to I don't know why they look like that. Again, I probably need to take them out. These are or feed them. These are the things that are winter sown, and that's the rest of what I was trying to tidy up. But this week I was supposed to be off, and I've been working so hard. So hard. Anyway, let's swing you around. Okay guys, here is our spinach and lettuce and radish planter. It's going to seed the spinach. I'm gonna try and harvest. This is gonna be the third harvest. The leaves get bigger each time and it grows back really quickly. Here's the lettuce. Here's a massive daikon radish, Welsh onions, more lettuce, and more spinach is looking. So this is a Bloomsday long standing, so this is looking really good, really lovely. And here we have the calendula, and here we have the hyssop. Hyssop smells absolutely amazing. The calendula is doing real well. And we have the giant parsley. We don't see any pokeweed, so we're gonna have to plant them again. I'll have a lot of blue dazzling kale. I don't think the postmen like when they have to deliver, because they have to get past this. It's a massive tree. I'll have loads of blue dazzling kale. That's all I care about. And I'll show you something else. I did cut these back, and now this is salvia. They're coming. It smells so good. It's gonna be so pretty in a minute. This is after the oh, look at this. Oh, can't wait for them to come up. No, let me show you something else. The comfrey is coming back. More salvia. These are what I planted last year. I put some poppy through, but the slugs, would you believe, are having the poppies as well. So we'll see what comes through. But yeah, this is a bit bare, this section. We just need to plant it up with whatever. We tidied it up the other day, so we're gonna try and get it filled in. So that's that. And more salvias. And this is, you see, this is what I mean. These are what I did from cuttings. They look really healthy. They don't look yellow like the one at the back. They all look really good. Anyway, guys, there's lots going on in the garden, and I'm really pleased with what I've got so far, especially when you consider all that that's been happening. So thanks for watching. Take care.